Well, football is, of course, ultimately just a game, but for the next 2 hours, it might not feel like that. The stadium is full of noise and energy. This certainly matters. Expectations and decibels both rising fast here. Things are heating up, and we'll be getting underway very soon. So off we go then.
Frank Rijkaard can really make his presence felt. A superb defender who became an iconic midfield anchorman.
And what's more, a remarkably good strike rate, actually.
Very true, just another level of his expertise, Peter, but his reading of the game, for me, is masterful.
Now it's Cruyff. Rijkaard cuts out the pass. Now looking to orchestrate a counter. That's a shade optimistic. And he's cleared it out of harm's way.
Rijkaard.
Oh, he's felt that, hasn't he? Well, that has not gone well. De Bruyne. It's run loose here. De Jong. Pullet. Aimed beyond the defence.
Deserved a better ball there. He's right to be disappointed.
And that's really well manoeuvred. Nicely aimed pass. Great vision. And this is Vieri. De Bruyne.
Yeah, the crowd have tried to spark some excitement, but to no avail. This needs something explosive.
And he cuts out the supply. Oh, good read.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Saliba. De Bruyne. Raul. And that's been intercepted.
That's great positioning. So good from him.
Oh, played right into his path. And a chance! He's done very well to get to that.
Really looked sharp there, didn't he? That's very well played. All he needs to do is to place this between the goalposts and basically let them attack it.
De Bruyne goes short. Oh, that's wonderful alertness. It's a pretty loose pass. And here's Rijkaard. And now a sudden chance to counter. Oh, he's going to be disappointed with that. Plays a sharp little ball here. And he's managed to get rid.
Rijkaard.
And it's Neymar. De Bruyne can see things others simply cannot. Look at that. And De Bruyne! He's keen, determined to have his say.
Bangladesh really have stepped it up now. They could have been a bit more greedy and forced the issue.
Well timed, excellent interception.
Well, yet another interception and a show of anticipation to be commended.
De Bruyne. Well, a goal here just before half-time could mean a great deal. Marquinhos gets over and intercepts. Well, there's your danger man, a title that is entirely justified. Tries to pass it through. And this is Vieri. Vieri! Goal!
Look, there are always tactical adjustments for any coach to make at half-time, but when your star man gives you a critical lead just before the break...
And it's half-time here. There's been no shortage of industry or intent thus far. A little inspiration and inventiveness, perhaps the only things lacking. Any strong opinions on the first half?
Well, it's obvious, Peter, that this team was set up to play on the break, and their opponents pretty much played right into their hands, so no wonder they've got their tails up at half-time.
Celtic go in at half-time with a slender one-goal lead.
Substitution for Celtic, number 18.
And the action is back underway.
Well, if you're ahead, it's a good time to start moving the ball quicker, Peter. Entice your opponents out. See if you can open them up a bit more.
Substitutions taking place.
Now this could be... And the shot! And it's in! 2 up now, and they are cruising. And that is about as cool as they come. He picked his spot expertly.
Just way too good, Peter. The keeper was never going to stop it.
And it didn't take him long. Just sitting on the bench and waiting moments ago, already he has scored.
I think the manager's claiming an assist here.
So that's 2 now without reply.
The turning of the screw comes to mind, Peter. They've got them where they want them. Well, they've stamped some authority on things, but how much more authority can be generated?
Tries a shot! Yes! The lightness of step, the sharpness of movement, the certainty of finish.
Yeah, that's what the game is all about. Excitement and entertainment. What a lovely moment.
A case now of complete control.
This is wonderful front-footed football. The manager will be absolutely thrilled to see his team clicking in every department.
Benatia engages and forces him off the ball. Celtic still have the cards to affect this game. That's ruffled a few feathers, but well dealt with. Danger averted for now. Rijkaard. Well, that had the makings of something quite promising, but it's fizzled out into nothing. He's got away. There's the shot! No mistake! Players ecstatic, fans delirious. This is utopian. Well, one moment you're in possession, the next you're picking the ball out of your own net. That one will sting.
Oh, that was beautifully done. They were ready to pounce, and they were clinical when the opportunity presented itself.
It's become a case of men against boys. Vitinha. It's a good spell of possession, this. Oh, Can he finish?
That's just playing it safe and simple.
Now it's Neymar. Hangs one in. Roll! It wasn't a great header in the end. Can he get on the end of this? Oh, played through for the wide man. He's shifting through the gears here. And the finish! It's there! And it adds further to a heavily one-sided scoreline. This is getting punishing.
Some of those players look totally lost out there now, Peter, and you can't blame them.
Celtic are at the peak of their powers. As for their opponents, a long way from that. Can he get it through? And that has put paid to that. Celtic looking to pass their way through, and he's lost his man here. Rijkaard. Lovely pass, but can he get there? Mbappe, and he's worked it through. Oh, he's seen that early, used a certain sixth sense. And that's it. So a real showpiece win. This lot were simply far too clever for their opponents, and despite their best endeavours, it has ended in an easy win. Shevchenko taking in the accolades, having been named man of the match, and deservedly so. How would you summarise what we've seen today then, Jim?
Celtic definitely impressing me here, especially the way that attack clicked. Whether it was link-up play, running in behind, this has just been a great day at the office.
So we're all back together again, fresh still in our minds, those memories, the unbelievable highs, the unforgettable lows. And as the sides return to cross swords for the first time again, we just remind ourselves of the magic of this game. This is what it does to you. It keeps bringing you back, no matter what. Well, it looks like a big game, sounds like a big game. Everyone involved is absolutely up for it. So we're up and running. So, Jim, who would you identify as the key man in this fixture?
Well, Peter, I think this striker, Dominic Solanke, will prove to be a good focal point for their attacking play. He really has come on in leaps and bounds from a time when he was looking like another one of those players who was too good for the second tier, not quite cut out for the top flight. These days, he's every inch a top-level striker.
Yeah, he'll be looking for a goal or two. And the counter is on. Well, that looks a cracking ball. But it is clear to see that he is not at all happy with that.
Clearly is miffed, having made the run and not get picked out.
Cruyff is sporting a guilty look after that.
Encouraged the pass with an intelligent run, but the pass just lacked.
And the shot! Decent strike, kept it fizzing low.
Oh, that's a cracking try. Good technique to keep it low too.
Tell, can he get it through? Too much on it, and that is an easy claim for the keeper. Celtic, so far, providing no real test at all for the goalkeeper. Now that's well seen too. Pedro Porro. Gray. And it's Xabi Alonso. And here's Lewandowski. Great vision. That's the keeper's ball. Saliba. That is good alertness. Sarr. And they can counter here. Now it's Solanke. Saliba. Xabi Alonso. He's on it. Can he get away? Bumps him off it and wins back the ball. Tottenham have a free kick. Sarr. Pedro Porro. João Palhinha. Sarr. Passing is crisp and sharp. Xabi Alonso does really well to win the ball there. And that interception was most necessary.
That was well played, well stopped. Have beautifully policed that midfield. The opposition have been handcuffed.
And he plays one through. Steered out wide, but he won't reach that one. And he's forced to go back. Pass is coming off in quick succession here. Lovely pass, but can he get there? That's a nicely shaped ball. Tell. Sarr. Passing nice and neat. The pressing's intense, and it's paid off. And that is going to be the final action of the first half. It hasn't been a bad watch, not by any means. The intensity levels are there. We've just lacked that telling breakthrough moment. Reflections on the first half?
Well, there's no way to disguise the fact that they've been poor. Not a single shot on goal tells you all you need to know, Peter. Everything seems a little hurried to me, a little rushed, panicked even at times.
So they head in no further forward. The score here, still 0-0. And if you have just joined us, well, we've just begun the second period here.
Celtic really can count themselves lucky not to be behind at half-time. Couldn't really work out what they were trying to do, actually. Letting themselves get dominated like that, it's very confusing.
And this is Lewandowski. And now they can clear their lines. And it's Xabi Alonso. Well, they continue each to cancel the other out. Now it's Solanke. João Palhinha.
Are certainly playing with an intense focus in executing their plan here.
Tell. Oh, this is a very good run. Xabi Alonso, defending his corner stubbornly, stood up very well to his man. Mbappe. Mbappe! Gray. Very little to report from an attacking perspective. Jim, it's a cagey old game.
Yeah, I think it's a scoreline in keeping with what we've seen up to this point. Combined attempts at goal aren't high in numbers, and we could do with something to spark this contest into life.
And it's made its way to him. Played into space. Danso kept his eye on it, and he's there. It looked as though that might lead to something quite promising, but it turned out that that was not the case. Mbappe, Lopez, and he's managed to get free. Oh, right place, right time. And that has been clubbed away.
Substitution.
Rijkaard, Rodri, and here's Mbappe, and he's had a hit! Mbappe! Irrepressible! That is a gem! An absolute gem! And that could well be the winner!
Look, before we can even delve into the detail, the significance of taking the lead should be our initial reflection, and that's priceless.
He made it happen, squeezed through with sheer will and considerable accuracy.
Well, I'm sat here, Peter, thinking that the keeper might have done a little better then. Maybe his positioning wasn't great, but then again, I don't think he had a wonderful view of it.
So we have and the shot! It's in! And surely that clinches it! There really is no way back now! And a trademark move ends with the inevitable classy finish.
Well, it's an example of counter-attacking at its finest. Real cut and thrust.
Celtic could not have picked a better time to snatch a two-goal lead. Is there still time for a response?
Well, I think if they're going to have any hope from here, they'll need to see their more experienced lads step up to the plate now.
Added minutes has been indicated.
Pedro Porro. And here's Richarlison. Caught offside that time. And it's Cruyff. And that is as far as it goes. Well, don't you just love it when a plan comes together? Victory never in doubt in the mind of the mastermind in all of this. A solid win, which will be welcomed all round. Mbappe taking in the accolades, having been named man of the match. Hello and welcome one and all. The atmosphere building very nicely here. Gorgeous, gorgeous evening. The skies are clear, the noise is fervent, the atmosphere frenetic. I'm your commentator, Peter Drury, and providing his unique brand of expert analysis, here's Jim Beglin.
Thanks for the intro, Peter. I've been soaking up the atmosphere and I'm really looking forward to what lies in store.
Well, the stage is set for a stirring showdown here. The supporters in great voice, and there's a real sense of anticipation in the air. Game on. If you're just joining us, we are already underway. Now it's Williams. Can he get on the end of this? Iñaki Williams just eases him off the ball. Now it's Mbappe. Nicely weighted ball. This looks promising. And he's intervened well there.
Well, it seems as if the message has been issued by both managers: don't concede the opener.
Challenge just a bit on the firm side. That's ruffled a few feathers, but well dealt with. Celtic have got it back and they'll have another go. Berenguer. So Jim, who would you identify as the key man in this fixture?
Yeah, I'm Eric Laporte. He's a centre-back who's one of the best in the business when it comes to playing out.
Williams! And the keeper couldn't hold it. Oh, that was no routine save.
That's very, very good. You can't ask for much more than that.
And he's heaved it away. And he's chosen to go back.
They're really getting no time to think on the ball here.
Nice bit of skill, and he's away. Knocks it into space. Oh, he's got that all wrong, and it's a penalty. Celtic really could have done without this. And he's buried it! 1-0. Not a twitch, not a blink.
Well, he dipped into a world of focus then and dismissed any distraction.
So the first goal of the game.
Yeah, it's rare that one is enough though, Peter. I get the feeling they'll be wanting another as soon as possible.
Jaureguisa. Oh, it's a nice idea, but the execution was lacking.
It's a decent chance to counter-attack.
That is ended up in no man's land.
Celtic truly have no need to panic. They can reassess at half-time.
Now it's Lopez. He has found the way through. This might spell danger. Berenguer. And it's Laporte. And he's opted for the long pass. That's been cut out, well played. Now it's Williams. Oh, just skips past his man. Gabriel goes sliding in. Cruyff. Good ball, good take. And that pass just didn't quite work. And we hit half-time. There's been no shortage of industry or intent thus far. A little inspiration and inventiveness, perhaps the only things lacking.
Please be reminded that drinking is only allowed in the areas shown in this map. Thank you very much for your cooperation.
Substitution.
Here we go again.
Well, I think in these circumstances, it's all about how to adjust the balance of your team. I mean, you want to get back in it as soon as possible, but without leaving yourself too open.
Now it's Williams. And here's Rashford. Celtic different to some extent this half. Details of the changes to come soon.
I'll be fascinated to see how the change now affects their overall strategy.
Cruyff, well seen, saw that coming. Berenguer. Celtic still trailing by one and looking here to take it up a notch after the break. And that is a little undercooked. And here's Rashford. A reprieve, albeit perhaps momentary. And it's Rashford. Has a look and plays it forward. Lovely pass, but can he get there?
That's exactly what they need to keep doing. Carry on plugging away and eventually you might just get that little break.
This is a really front-footed approach.
Well, the question now is whether they can sustain it.
Now it's Williams. Well, the defence proved infallible then, but that won't be the last they'll see of him. Now it's Williams. Stood up well to him there. Now it's Rashford. Gorosabal. Your impression so far, Jim?
Well, considering they're only one down, they're closer to conceding a second than scoring a leveller.
It's a promising position. Sunset receives it in a good position here. Gorosabal's cross. Raya deals with that nice and simple.
I think the message here is quite clear, Peter. They want another one and will seemingly keep going until they get it.
He's had it taken off him. The final moments of a game that has been pretty compelling overall.
Yeah, they're really playing in hope at this point, but hope is something you can always cling to.
Berenguer. And Yuri looking for the run. Now it's Berenguer. Pinches it off him.
This usually is the time teams go into conservation mode.
Robert Navarro is fouled. Well, you might think he got off lightly. It is just a verbal warning.
Substitution on the field. Number 9, Williams. Number 23, coming on the field. Number 11.
Now, can they get him? Real chance! Denied by an instinctive save.
Berenguer actually didn't do an awful lot wrong, to be honest.
Number 8, Sanchez. Coming on to replace him is number 24.
Has a shot!
Has been indicated.
And that's it. Well, that was tense. The two parties separated by the game's only really meaningful moment. Intriguing. Welcome to those who have joined us all here on a beautiful, clear evening. The conditions contributing to a fantastic atmosphere in the stands. This really is the place to be. Well, I'm Peter Drury, and I'm joined in the commentary box by the familiar figure of Jim Beglin.
Hi everyone, and thanks Peter, it's great to be on board.
And the mood is boisterous. It is a perfect ambience for the central characters who are ready now to perform. And already we're underway here. Lewandowski reaching 3 figures in terms of his appearances for the club.
Yeah, something that I mentioned to him in person before the match, Peter, although it took some time to register. Pretty much the same with me on my 100th game. I was more focused on winning than anything else.
Lopez, Fermin! It's loose and there's a race for the ball. Lang. Oh, this looks sharp. Pinches it off him. Now there's a fine ball. Fermin was alert to the possibilities, but in the end it's fruitless. Oh, good take in a good area. Rodri. Now try to spin that positively. I certainly can't. Sara. So we're still where we started right now. Oh, good spread. Fermin makes the interception. And he's lost his man here. There's a beautiful simplicity about this contest. Willing running on one side, dogged defence on the other. Now it's Lang. Nicely shaped ball. Shoots! And that is certainly not what he had in mind.
Incredible. He had all the time in the world to pick his spot as well.
Oh no, no circumventing this opponent. Shall I?
Galatasaray really have found that they're getting more space out wide, and I can see now there's a lot of activity developing in that area, Peter.
Yeah, it's busy in there, isn't it?
Yeah, the wide players are doing their stuff and are grabbing the attention right now.
Yilmaz making good progress on the right-hand side.
That will annoy the manager. They're making themselves too predictable here.
And he's looking at the referee, but the referee is shaking his head. Shall I? So still we are where we began. It's 0-0. Now it's Shall I? And he's managed to get free. And he skips past his... He's having a go! And kept out by the most elastic of saves.
Really anticipated that well, didn't he?
Sara with the short one. That's very neat. Celtic have the chance to go the other way.
There will be 1 minute added time.
Lopez. Oh, this is a... And the shot! He's beaten the keeper, but hit the post. And we've reached half-time. It hasn't been a bad watch, not by any means. The intensity levels are there. We've just lacked that telling breakthrough moment. Well, after 45 minutes, it is still goalless. A change, perhaps, after half-time. And that's the start of another 45 minutes.
Well, I suppose from a defensive perspective, Peter, neither manager can be too unhappy. I just wonder which team is going to up the ante first.
Mbappe is someone with real dynamite in his boots. Lopez has a shot! Oh, the keeper's done ever so well.
That's very, very good. You can't ask for much more than that.
Shalai hurtling down that right flank. Still absolutely nothing to report here goals-wise. He has found the way through. Goes down, but nothing given. Saliba did well to emerge with the ball. That's a contest to keep an eye on. Good ball, good take. Skillfully cut out. He is so at ease on the ball. Lang. A deeply frustrating game so far. Certainly in terms of the scoreline, it remains 0-0. Now Akbun. And here's Osimhen. He's found a way past. That has been cut short.
Well, he was given the time and room initially to hold on to the ball, but eventually he was squeezed that bit harder and the task became too much.
Oh, he's taken out. That'll be a foul. And that's going to be a booking. He does seem to be in considerable discomfort. I do hope it's nothing serious.
Substitution for Celtic. Number 8, striker. Number 13, Robert Lewandowski. Coming on the field.
Now this could be a chance. Love, can he finish? No mistake. Finally the breakthrough.
There was this feeling that the game was petering out, but credit for never losing their focus despite things not going as planned. Now comes the question, will they stick or twist?
Just so calm under pressure, and he managed to fashion a fine finish.
Gundogan demonstrated great strength there. I mean, he really had to hold his man off and just create enough room for him to be able to get the shot away. And I think it's just top play.
And when the manager called on him, he was only too happy to repay that faith.
I think the manager's claiming an assist here.
Galatasaray have penetrated for the first time.
Look, experienced voices need to be heard now, along with good purpose and urgency, and they can get right back into this.
That's good play. Real chance! Loose ball now, and there's a chase on to retrieve it.
They've got a healthy number of very tall targets to pick out from this corner.
And that has been knocked clear. Singo getting this one clear.
Look, there has to be more urgency here. The ball has to get to the other end much faster.
Nicely weighted ball.
That's just playing it safe and simple. I think we're about to see a frenetic finish. No half measures from here.
And the shot! Sara, that has been slung wide. Galatasaray are looking to break at pace. 4 added minutes on the board. And it's Icardi. Now it's Gundogan, over to the left. Lang gets into a good position. Big chance! It's in! A 2-goal lead, and they're firmly in control. And that will be the final act. Celtic perhaps ended up out of ideas and out of steam. Some warm applause and acknowledgement of...